How's it going, everybody? We have a gigantic blog for you today, and not in size, but in scope. So this is temporary changes to Alliance 4. Now, I have a vague idea of what is going to be said in this blog, but I'm super curious to know what you guys think about these changes. So after you hear what I got to say, head on over to the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Commanders, War has been a beloved game mode to many players in the community since its inception. We've been hearing a lot of feedback regarding the mode, so we will be taking some actions to gather critical feedback and continue to iterate to ensure it remains a fun and engaging PvP mode. Here's what to expect. For the next War Season Tea Party, we'll be testing some new team synergy bonuses, new global rules that we would love to hear your feedback on, going from 3 wars per week to 2 wars per week. The third war of the week will be removed. So that's going to be like if you're zone 1, your Friday war is removed. If you're in zone 4, your Saturday war is removed. Now that's great for people just not to do anything on the weekends, but it's going to devalue your war teams like crazy. So like if you built teams for war, you're getting to use them, 2 out of your 3 normal times. So it really devalues war only characters like a lot of the teams we've been getting recently. Rewards for the third war of the week will be redistributed in a milestone for the duration of this season, so at least it's not messing with the rewards. The initial test is for a minimum of 2 weeks. However, we could extend it for longer. These updates are the first of many possible alterations to War, so stay tuned for future updates on what new and exciting changes will be coming to Alliance helicarriers. I know a lot of Alliance have been burning out on War, and a lot of that is because there is just such a wide variety of these crazy hybrid teams you can make with some of these absolutely outlandish characters like Mephisto, like Odin, like Ares. The list of war characters is crazy. America Chavez is still causing waves, right? So I know that a lot of Alliance captains are burning out trying to navigate the waters that are War for their very competitive alliances, and that's been taking a toll. I know that Legion stepped down. I think Legion did more than step down after the initial step down. And I know Thieves straight up imploded. And I don't think they are alone in that feeling that War is kind of dragging on a little bit. I have a lot of thoughts about War, things that could improve War myself, but I'll save it till we get to the rest of this blog. Limited time bonus rewards. For a limited time only, you can earn bonus rewards from both the War leaderboard and War completions, but don't wait too long as these extra rewards will disappear on March 10th. Take advantage of this unique opportunity to stock up on gold and L4 training modules that are essential for leveling up your characters and strengthening your roster. Make every war battle count and maximize your gains before these bonus rewards vanish. That's good. With the level captures increasing, we all need more gold, we all need more training materials, so we're going to get a nice influx of that. Fantastic. The next War season starts on February 9th. February 9th being 6 or 5 days from when this gets posted. Interesting. Tea Party, so the end of the War season. Duh. Tea Party. The following teams will have bonuses while attacking: Avenger, Liberty, Absolute A-Force, Undying, and Mercs for Money. You do not need to keep the full team together for these bonuses while attacking, so you can use hybrids on offense. The following teams will have bonuses while defending when you keep the full team together. So like I was saying a couple seconds ago, a lot of alliances are burning out attacking into these giant hybrids. So they're trying to incentivize people keeping full teams together on defense, which we'll see what these benefits are. Cool, but it's gonna, really kind of dumb down the kit variety that you're going to be facing on defense while still allowing for that theory craft on the offensive side. You need to use a full team of 5 characters with the same trait for these bonuses while defending. Global. On basic, attacking Liberty allies apply taunt. We know the Liberty team, they're going to gain whatever percentage of extra damage when an enemy has taunt. That's cool. It's the season of Liberty, makes sense. Attacking Avenger allies with deflect, gaining 5% damage per deflect. Attacking Avenger allies with deflect. Okay, cool. Boosting. No, it's attacking. Oh, so characters that have deflects. That's Liberty again. Okay. Captain America giving deflects as well. So you put him with a team of Avengers. Maybe that'll be something interesting. Not so sure about that. 20% primary stats to defending astral allies, and 20% primary stats to attacking allies, all allies. Use one of the following full defending teams will provide a 30% bonus to primary stats. Annihilators, Astral, Illuminati, X-Men, and Infestation. So let's go through this list real quick. Annihilators. This is a team that you could very often see with, say, an Odin or a Mephisto. Those counters are pretty well established right now, but it still takes away from some of your powerful options. So I guess if you want this 30% bonus stats, you're going to keep full Annihilators together. Mighty Avengers is going to do gigantic punch-ups into that, whereas Mighty Avengers does not win against the Mephisto version of Annihilators, right? So right away, I can tell you that this bump to defending Annihilators will not overcome the defensive victories you would get by slotting Mephisto in there. But what these changes do, if we jump ahead, 30% primary stats to attacking Avenger, Liberty, A-Force, Undying, and Merch for Money allies. This tells me that now, if I put in whatever X character with my Merch for Money, they're going to have 30% more stats on the Merch for Money characters. And if they have the right kit now to go into an Annihilator Skrull, well, it's going to be an easier punch down because my characters are simply stronger now. So this is a gigantic swing from a very defensive war meta right now to kind of bridging that gap and having those war offensive teams kick a lot of butt. This is going to greatly increase the punching range for wars, which is kind of cool. I just think there's a lot of teams like Annihilators where it won't make sense to keep them as a full team. That 30% primary stats is not going to be enough, especially since it just gets mirrored by their counters on the offense. Anyway, Astral. So if you keep the full Astral team together, there's so many things that beat that. I think like Gamma Apocalypse beats that still, because your Apocalypse still gets to go first. Now Gamma is not going to be getting any sort of buff, so if it's full the Astral team with 30% stats, maybe those new stats make that more aggressive. In the same vein, though, maybe then you just go like Apocalypse with Red Hulk and some characters that'll get to go before the Astrals do and kick their butts now that they won't have their buffs and stuff like that. So I think there's definitely going to be ways that you can still exploit a full Astral team. Full Illuminati, you kind of see that already. I'm interested to see what this is going to do, though, because Illuminati is kind of a very low budget counter. So this is actually probably supporting defense teams more. Because if I want to use my Superior 6 or Sinister 6 against Illuminati, which is what I normally do, well, now the Illuminati team is going to be 30% stronger. X-Men team, this is kind of interesting. It's a very big blanket team, right? So we have Extreme in there. We have the new Immortal team in there. Maybe we'll just see some giant sizes, and we're going to see them pulling some more interesting teams. So that's kind of cool. And then Infestation. Well, I mean, there's so many hard counters to Infestation. I can't imagine 30% primary stats is going to save them, but we'll see. 30% primary stats to attacking Avengers, Liberty, Avenger characters. So what do we have there? What are the newest teams for Avengers? Mighty Avengers, of course. Okay, boom, done. Captain America will be a bit better, cool. Hank Pym would be a bit better on attack. So yeah, not Iron Man. So like Illuminati gets a little bit of buff on the attack side. That's kind of cool. Liberty team, the newest team. I'm happy that it's going to be mostly on the attacking side for this. Because this team is going to be a nightmare. Maybe you should keep your eyes out later today and see if a different video drops about war, maybe showcasing some characters. And they're awesome. Absolute A-Force getting a big bump. Jesus Christ, these guys just kind of need it to be good, don't they? The Absolute A-Force, kind of a big letdown for what the playtest was showing just because of all those crazy options we saw on the defensive side. Undying get a buff is crazy. The Undying team is already cracked out. And Mercs for Money getting a buff as well. That's cool because that was the last war team that was released prior to the new stat meta. So that's pretty cool too. So happy to see that. That's going to make them much more relevant. Probably helps them take out a lot of these teams that might cause problems with the new stats. We'll have to wait and see. Cool. What do you guys think about that? So already we're down from 3 wars a week to 2. We get weekends off. I kind of like that because I got kids and I never really do the weekend wars anyway. And we got primary stats to attacking and defending teams. Attacking teams, you can still use hybrid. Defending teams need the full teams. That's a giant swing in the direction of offense, in my opinion, because we're still allowed that bit of theory crafting. Let's see what room rules we got to look forward to. Med Bay, apply 2 regeneration to defending allies. Skill allies also receive an additional 2 regeneration. All right, well, that's going to help the Liberty team, but if you can get a quick flip on them, then you're flipping more regenerations into bleeds. Not sure if that's going to be a boon to them on the defensive side. Armory, 20% primary stats to defending allies, extra 20% to skill, so same as it currently is, but now we're doing skill allies instead of whatever the heck's going on right now, which I think is Astral. Security, adjacent, apply defense down to attack enemies, so the same. Bridge, apply 10 positive effects randomly, so that's the same. Hangar, 15% barrier, that's the same. Extra 15% to skill. Reactor, apply disrupt to attacking, the same. Barracks, apply offensive to defending, the same. Tech allies gain an additional offense up. No idea why that matters, but sure. Cargo Bay, plus 10% primary stats to all defending allies. On successful hit, defending skill allies with a generation apply bleed. Ooh. Interesting. On successful hit, defending skill allies with regeneration apply bleed. So they apply bleed to the enemy. So the Liberty team spawns with so many buffs, and now they're going to get full regeneration. So you would need a character that, first of all, a bunch of focus, right? Unblockable attack and flips everything for it to flip on them. Otherwise, they might bleed you to death. Cargo Bay, definitely. Cargo Bay has always been the most important room to take out early, even more so now. Cool. Engineering. Apply defense up to defending allies. Okay, and that's going to be it. Super interested to know what you guys think about this. I think this is a step in the right direction as far as buffing offensive teams if the war defense meta is as overpowering as people have been complaining it to be. I personally have not experienced that because I stepped down into a lesser alliance. Not lesser, still coolest people ever. And we keep everything for offense. So in keeping everything for offense, this is only going to extremely benefit us. Extremely. I guess the one difference is we all have Annihilators on offense for regular Alpha Flight. We all have our Astral on offense just because they're super good on offense. They're not going to be getting any sort of buffs. Would this make us change that, or would we still keep Astral just to deal with kind of the B tier teams while these guys handle the A tier? No, we might start throwing them on defense. Yeah, we might, because it would help us out a little bit. And I don't think for where we're at, we care to make these hybrids anyway. And then we would pull something else back to offense. So I kind of alluded to like how I would make war if I had my magic wand. What would I do to try and make war more enticing? I don't think the answer is less war. I don't, because I think war can be a fun game mode, and people will be upset about this. And no matter how you feel about it, just know there's people out there that do love war, and you're taking away 1/3 of their game mode per week, and that's a lot. So how would I make war better? First of all, make the war store good. Okay, the war store has to be good. You should put this right here, golden training modules. This should be in the war store. At the very least, Crimson Gear should be in there. But golden training materials should be in the war store. People have too big a horde right now, so you need to zero out their currency. You need to say like, hey, this is the new war season. Everyone's currency. We're doing a new currency. Spend all your old currency. Give a crimson orb so people can spend all their old currency. Just put a giant rate at it, whatever, but they'll get a bunch of crimson gear for their horde. And then zero out the currency, all right? Gold training materials in the store. Make people excited for when a war finishes. I can't tell you how excited I was when I had my baby account earlier this year, or I guess earlier last year, and a war would finish. And it would give me enough gold to put like 5 levels on a character because I was still in like the level 80 range. If war had a reward like that, where every time a war ended, even if we're down to 2 wars a week now, but when a war ends, it gives me enough gold to level a character from 105 to like 103, that would be super cool. I would be pumped for that because everyone's starved for gold, right? Same with trading modules. If you gave me enough trading modules that I could actually do those levels, but say I have to use the resources, the war credits that I got for finishing the war or for taking out teams inside the war, if I have to use that in the store to buy these training modules, I think that is how you make, that's the first step in making war super fun, right? Give people the rewards that they desperately want, make them earn it, and they'll have fun doing it because they know what's at stake there. Second thing, I think they need to lean into some aspects of Crucible, which they've kind of done here, but I think the overall season, right? So on basic at Liberty and apply taunt and attacking Avenger allies with deflect gain 5% damage. I think this part right here needs to be a lot more interesting. right? The part where it's the wider tag, the Avenger tag. I think they need to do more seasons like the Hero Spider-Verse season we saw. That was a wide enough tag that it was interesting to make different combos with. Now it ran for too long, so it got stale after a while. But in the interim, like right away, it was interesting to see what Noir was bringing to teams, what Weaver was bringing to teams. Weaver 2099 kind of had a resurgence there. I think back to Crucible, when we had the Age of X. So like, why can't we have a big city hero season, right? That would affect Night Stalkers. That would do a lot of cool things. Now, what they would need to do is, instead of just accomplishing what this accomplishes, right, which is just raw stats for the team, there needs to be something fun that it mechanically brings. So like the Hero Spider-Verse, they had that safeguard on spawns, so you weren't able to control them as easily. That's something that they can lean into, whether that be like city heroes get 10% increased speed stat. Like that changes how matches go. They spawn with, these characters now spawn with immunity, they spawn with offense up, they spawn with deflex, like whatever the case may be, give the tag something interesting like that. Now, I wish for War one day we'd be able to play into gameplay mechanics the way Crucible does, but it would have to be on a smaller scale because nobody wants, think of how much time you waste on Crucible, right? Nobody wants to be this like giant thing. But if it was something a little bit simpler, like in season 1 of Crucible, we had a room where skill allies, when they ulted, gave 1 energy to adjacent allies. If we had something minimal like that, it would affect some teams for sure. Like Noir is a skill character. He can go super fast. He can feed energy to a character like Super Skrull. All of a sudden he's ulting 1 turn sooner. That's really cool. That's interesting. That's something I could build into. But it doesn't add too much theory crafting. Something like that. So those are my 2 steps to fix War, in my opinion, is make War more worthwhile by giving people what they really want in those currencies, and then spice up the thematic engagement with War. Not just raw stats. I don't think that's going to do much. Oh, also, I think they should really start making solo characters like Ares was. This is a thought I had the other day. OG Spider-Man is so far removed from a rework right now, but he's goddamn OG Spider-Man, right? People love Spider-Man. Why can't he get, just randomly in whatever patch, the stat boost rework, a brand new shiny kit? Hell, if they need to monetize it, or if they want to make us earn it through engagement, they can give him awakened abilities that do something fantastic with his kit, right? Make him a true plug-and-play character. I think that would really excite people as well. Get the old fan favorite characters back involved. I remember the Black Order season. People really disliked the idea of building Black Order only for them to lose their value as soon as the season was over, but everyone still kind of did it. And we had to theory craft ways to beat Black Order. Then they ended up reworking Black Order semi-permanently, nowhere near as good as they were during the season, but decently. And I think if they're upfront with things, and they're like, we are going to be giving, what's an interesting team? Not Uncanny X-Men because Phoenix was just taken. Astonishing X-Men is pretty much untouched, right? So we are going to give the Astonishing X-Men the Age of X treatment, where we're going to boost their stats up by 200% across the board. They're going to spawn with Safeguard, blah, 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 blah. We will not be reworking this team, but they will be like that for 2 War seasons. It lets people decide if that is worth their investment. It adds a new team to War to face off with, instead of just giving Infestation a 30% boost. Infestation dies to like 50 teams right now. It's just not exciting, right? So anyway, I droned on way too much. Let me know what you guys think about these 2 changes. Once again, the big changes. We're going from 3 wars a week down to 2. Your weekends are now yours again. We're doing a giant stat buff to defensive teams if it is a cookie cutter team. And we're doing a giant stat buff to offensive teams, and you're still allowed to theory craft. Those are the big takeaways. Let me know what you guys are thinking about that in the comment section below. But for now, stay happy, stay healthy, have fun, and make sure you hit that sub button. Take care, guys. Bye.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.